Hello friends, thank you for watching this video. I am Mohamad and today we're going to be discussing a new feature in .NET 8 which is going to be primary constructors. So let's get started. So here I have a empty console application. And the main reason behind this video is we want to just introduce some of these new features that has been introduced within .NET 8, which is a primary constructor. So let's say I have a normal class. So what we want to do is we're going to check how we used to declare classes, and now with the new .NET 8 primary constructor, how are we? And we're going to be discussing a bit around them. So let's say I have my user class. So I'm gonna put user class old referring to the old way and user class new for the new way. So let's say I have a user class, and as you can see here within this user class, if you wanna, for example, have any different fields, what you usually do is you get properties inside this class, put for example string, and this could be like first name, and then we make sure this is a string.empty, and then let's say we have another one, string.class name, etc, etc. So this could be one way of actually doing it. Another way where you can actually declare object inside your classes is by using the following. You can put, for example, private string, let's say first name, private string underscore last name, and then you have a constructor, and inside this constructor what you're gonna have here is you're gonna have a string first name and you're gonna have a string last name, and then here what you're gonna do is you put first name equal first name, and then you're gonna have last name equal last name. So basically what you're doing here is you're actually utilizing the constructor in order for you to initialize the fields, and once you do that you can actually utilize this private field. So let's say we have a function that says public string print hello, and this function all it does is just return interpolated string which says underscore first name and underscore first and underscore last name, and we can just make it as a sentence like hello there. So basically what we have here is we have these parameters which basically allows us to initialize our properties inside the constructor, and from there we can actually utilize them. And this is basically happening the way either this one here directly getting setting the getters or setters, or using private and the constructor in order for us to initialize them before .NET 8. But what happened with .NET 8? .NET 8 took this a bit differently. So basically within .NET 8 what we had is we had some inspiration from records in order for us to actually utilize this, in order for us to initialize a constructor. So within .NET 8 we had got something new which is called a primary constructor. And basically a primary constructor, as I said, is taking inspiration from records. So within records, which got introduced last year or the year before, within record you can actually define, like let's say a user information, and then you can put here string, let's say first name, and string, let's say last name. And then within this anywhere within your console, so let's say inside my program.cs, then I can directly say record, let's say what did we call it, user info. So we can say for example user info, and then here you declare it, you put your first name and you put your last name, and that's it. So basically within this user info that we have just declared here, we are actually having an immutable object. So for example, if I wanted to change my information, so I can put info dot first name equal, let's say Mohamad Talal. I cannot do that because now record is immutable, and basically you just declare them, and then you can actually utilize them. You cannot change the information inside of them anymore. Of course there's different ways where you can actually manipulate them, but the main essence of them is to become immutable, so you cannot change them. So this is what happened here inside the new primary constructor. So then within the primary constructor, this format of initialization has been taking place into the new primary constructor. So we can say right now, if I wanna call this user new, so I can put public class user new, and then here what I say, I can say string first name, string last name, and then inside of this, if I want to create the same function as print hello, so public string print hello directly into the body. So let's just copy this instead of retyping it again, and then here I can just update this to directly utilize parameters that coming from here. So we can see within this primary constructor what I have here. First of all, we can see the resemblance of the initialization similar to a record, and the second is I don't really have a default constructor anymore. So basically what I'm doing here is, and I'm not really declaring all of the parameters of my constructor anymore inside my class. I'm basically utilizing them in the same aspect as the records, so directly next to them. So here for example, if I want to utilize anything, I can directly declare them here, and this has certain limitation that we need to know of. I'm not going to be really delving a lot of the limitations, just an introduction about primary constructor. But for example, if I want to, one of the main limitations, if I want to utilize a primary constructor or empty constructor, what I need to do is I need to actually always refer to the main constructor, which is this one. So let's say I want to have a constructor called user new. I cannot have it like this. I need to directly, and now once I do this, we can see it's actually inheriting or basically it's initializing an empty value of the user new, and then it's actually defining an empty constructor. So this is one of the limitation. And other, if you're, for example, you want to declare a private parameter, you cannot really do it from here. What you need to do is you need to declare this as a private, and then you need to reutilize it. So if, for example, you want to make this the first name private, you need to do something like this. So if you want to put the first name as a private, you need to do something like this: private string first name equal first name. And now this basically they make first name as a private entity. And we can see here like some of the limitation that this might cause. So right now, if I want to create a new user class, so I can say, for example, user var new user equal new user new. So here you can see it directly take my first name last name as an initializer. I can have the no parameters because we declare them as empty. But for example here, if I want to, I can just put and the one. So this is the new one with the primary constructor, and let's have the one without the primary constructor, which is the old one, which is var, I'm gonna call it an old user equal new old user old. And then here you can see also it has the same implementation. Or something you need to pay attention to, that although they look the same here when it comes to initialization, because basically here both we're using constructors to initialize them in the old one and the new one, but the way where they actually is being referenced inside is a bit different. So this was just a quick video to showcase this new primary constructor way and how we can actually utilize them within .NET 8. I hope this video was helpful. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the comments down below. So thank you very much for watching and have a great day.